Hey guys, sorry I had to come to the camera looking a little ratchet, but I decided, you know what, I'm coming natural to the camera because it's late and I'm not getting all dressed up at this hour. And I don't want to forget what I'd like to talk about. And I don't feel like writing everything down, so I decided to just come on my channel and just tell you guys now while it's fresh on my mind, which it is like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, so yeah. But anywho, what I wanted to talk about is why do men think that women care what they feel about our bodies when, first of all, they don't understand our bodies? Second of all, they don't even want to understand our bodies. Third of all, um, what we have to go through having the bodies that we have, they would never understand what it takes, especially after you have a baby or after years of living life, what it takes to still look good, what it takes to still look attractive, what it takes to still make sure that you still got it after you're way out of your 20s and everybody's sitting there trying to tell you that your life is over because you're old now because you're 30 and up. Even though, newsflash, you are not old because you are 30 and up. Okay? For anybody that still has sense out there that wants to know the real truth and the real tea is you are not old because you're 30 and up. That's foolishness that they try to pump your head full of to make you feel discouraged, even though you shouldn't feel discouraged because you're just starting out life after 30. In your 20s, you're just figuring it out. To be honest, the only people that's not still figuring it out in their 20s is people who was like well prepared for life, like that had parents that was saving since they was babies and stuff like that. Other than that, in your 20s, you're just figuring it out. So I don't understand why, I kind of am talking about two different things where, you know, in your 30s and up, you are not old, you are not washed out, you are not done with life, nowhere near. So please don't allow nobody to try to tell you some foolishness like that because that's exactly what it is, it's foolishness. And I brought up the 30 plus being washed out because there's just so many people that like to tell people, especially females and black women, that, oh, how old are you again? You should be done doing all of that. You can't tell somebody where they should be in their life just because of how old they are. Now, you can suggest that their maturity level be better if they are at an older age and they seem to be little to no maturity. Then you can tell somebody like, yo, man, you need to be more mature. You need to grow the fuck up. But you can't tell somebody how they need to be at this certain age or this certain level if you can clearly see that they are working towards being the best version of themselves. Or it might just take them a little time, but they're not being hard-headed. They're not refusing to work on certain things. Now, some people be being hard-headed, refusing to work on certain things, basically just trying to demand that people, just because they love them, take their crap and takes their toxic behavior. That's not okay. But, it's like a thin line with that. But this Keke Palmer situation. So I seen a video, a little clip of Keke Palmer. By the way, Keke girl, you look good, okay? But anyway, Keke Palmer was in a sexy getup with like a one piece leotard type thing, and then sheer dress over top of it. And it looked really good. And to be honest, my personal opinion as a woman, because I know how raunchy and ratchet women can definitely dress these days, I personally thought until she turned around and we saw her booty, I personally thought she didn't look raunchy at all. I thought she looked really good and very well put together. But yeah, I can kind of get when she turned around and you seen that the one piece leotard has her cheeks out. So the sheer part is the only thing that's basically covering her cheeks. And so her baby father decided to make a comment telling her that he don't like the outfit because she's a mom now. My question is, okay, so are y'all men really trying to tell women, and I'm saying trying because this is her body, her choice, okay? So it's still up to her. But y'all really trying to tell women that we're wrong if we still look good after having kids, which is a lot of women that claim that they look obese and fat and ugly after they have their kids, right? So let's keep that in mind. Now, you got women that's having babies that instead of the stereotypical response to having babies where she blows up, she looks out of shape, overweight, stretched out, ugly, since that is what the stigma on pregnancy is once you have especially your first child, I feel like it's an act of defiance and power when, as a woman, not only do you allow your body to go left and don't take care of yourself, but you don't allow your body to go left. You do what's necessary to take care of yourself, and you make sure your body still looks good. So after you have done all of that work, working on your diet, making sure you're eating healthy enough, working on exercising, making sure you move around, making sure you don't get lazy, making sure that you are, showing yourself the love, the TLC, the care that you need to show yourself so that you can look good once you give birth. You did all of that work as a woman. You did all of that work. And that's a lot of work. When you're a woman, you know. And y'all men really want to tell me that as a woman doing all of that work to make sure she still look good for whatever man she with and for herself, that she's supposed to then, after she did all of that work, feel embarrassed about her body, cover her body up, and never show off or show confidence about this body she's worked so hard towards getting, maintaining, and keeping. Y'all tell me, how does that make sense? That you do all of this work just to cover up the work that you did. How is that not equivalent to maybe an artist creating a masterpiece? And it's a masterpiece because, it's a lot of different intricate details and care that they have to put into that masterpiece to make that masterpiece a masterpiece. You understand what I'm saying? So an artist doing all of that just to turn around and say, oh, but nobody can see the art though. I'm going to hang it in my home, but the only people that can see it is me and one other person. Wouldn't the people around that artist think that artist had lost their mind? Because why did you make a masterpiece, a piece of art that is meant to be looked at, that's meant to be admired, that's meant to be, loved, appreciated? Why would you then, in turn, after you done did all that work on that masterpiece, turn around and always cover it up and always make sure that it is not being able to be seen? What kind of sense does that make? Why would you work so hard towards making sure that your body look good just to never show it off or never be confident enough to feel like you can show it off? Because you feel you're supposed to feel embarrassed now because you have a child when it took sex to create that child? To be honest with y'all, I'ma keep it a beat. And if you don't like what I'm saying, put your nasty comment in the comment section so I can see who you are and so I can kindly block you, because it's exactly what I'm gonna do. But If you are a person that is sensible, that is a person that is connected to the truth and that loves the truth, then you'll appreciate what I'm about to say. As a black woman in a black community, and a black woman with a nice body on top of that, I know what it takes to keep your body looking nice, up to par. You know, despite, even though I never gave birth, I've had a situation where I was with child and lost life. So that is stress in the body as well. Going through all kinds of stress over time, eating and collecting, possibly, you know, um, not so great foods in your body over time, all kinds of stuff challenge you and plague you as a black woman when you are doing the best that you can to keep yourself fit, keep yourself looking good, keep yourself attractive. So I do genuinely believe that men are jealous. Any men that have anything negative to say about a woman being confident in her body, especially after she has children and or has experienced traumatic issues and serious situations that could have put her in a situation to eat ridiculous stuff and allow herself to just let herself go and become fat and ugly and just all ill. You know what I'm saying? Instead, she chooses to keep herself fit. And I do genuinely believe that these guys, these men that are complaining about her keeping herself fit and showing off her body and her fitness that she works so hard towards, you have to be jealous. Because if you are not jealous, then there is seriously something wrong with you that you cannot comprehend that when you are with an attractive woman that is beautiful, that's going to be one of the side effects. Other people going to be attracted to her too. And you got to expect that and appreciate it. And understand that you are blessed to be able to be with her. Because there's many men that wish wish they could, but could never. As the man that has her, you should appreciate her so much that you would never sit there and make her feel like, oh, okay, now you gotta humble yourself. Now you gotta sit down. Now you gotta make sure you're not showing off and you're not being too cute. Because that's jealousy. I mean, come on, listen to how I sound saying it. I sound jealous saying it. And that's exactly what these guys sound like when they're complaining about their woman being sexy after she's had a child or after she's decided to be in a relationship. When isn't that sexiness what got you in the first place? Oh, are you afraid that now she's going to have an opportunity to have other onlookers on her as well? Don't you know that that's going to happen regardless? Especially when you're with an attractive woman? Men, do yourself a favor and recognize that when you are attracted to very attractive women, that you are going to have to become stronger in your mind and understand that woman, it's her prerogative if she wants to be sexy. It's her prerogative how she wants to dress, especially when you didn't marry her. And that's another thing too. What makes men think that they can marry you, get you pregnant, or get in a relationship with you, and now they have complete control over you? And then some guys think that they're supposed to be able to have complete control over you whether you with them or not. It's crazy to me. It doesn't make any sense. Because it's like, how is it that men do genuinely believe that women are supposed to give up so much of themselves? I mean, she didn't give her body to create this baby for you. Actually, her body got better, and now you're mad? How does that not sound like jealousy? But, like, at the end of the day, From what I hear, Kiki says she love her man. And as you should, mamas, you should, you know? But it also seemed like they're not following each other, which is also kind of weird, but you know, it's whatever. At the end of the day, it's like, guys, leave women alone. Respect the fact that she's confident in herself. And she has every right to be confident in herself, especially when she's gone through so much traumatic issues with giving birth or trying to give birth or trying to get pregnant, and even if it didn't work out, that's trauma too. Women can get fat over that too and decide to just start eating a bunch of ice cream and crazy stuff that will blow them up. But instead, she decides to eat healthy. She decides to keep her body right. She decides to maintain having control over her eating habits so that she doesn't blow up. And your thank you to her is make sure you don't show that to nobody but me. And then what really blew my mind is they were sharing a video that apparently her boyfriend is the one that shared it, talking about how they son blew her body up. So how is it okay for you to boast about her body looking better and filling out very well, but she can't bask in that beauty herself and enjoy the fact that she still got it, regardless of her finally having her man already, having her child already, and having a family already? She still got it. Why is it so wrong for her to show and express that and bask in that? How she still got it. She's still beautiful. She's even more beautiful now than she was before she had the child. How is it that instead of men literally supporting their behavior and saying, you look, but you can't touch, because that's mine. And I'm so confident and so happy and proud to be able to call her mine. Yeah, she look good, don't she? It's all me, bro. That's how I feel like men should be responding to their woman looking good. And she could have blew up like a daggone balloon. And that's why I always say, y'all men are not easy to please. Y'all always like to say, oh, y'all men are so easy to please and women are so complicated. But that's proof that y'all men are not easy to please. Because if a woman has a baby and she blows up and gets fat on you, you ain't gonna want her no more. You gonna feel some type of way. You gonna feel like she let herself go. Blase, blase. But if she ends up getting pregnant and fills out where she looks beautiful and look better, you're still not happy. Now you're upset that she's showing off. Now you're upset that she's too confident in herself. Now you're upset that she's getting too much more attention than she was getting even before. So how does that not show that y'all men are just as complicated as women trying to make y'all happy? Which is exactly why I feel like us women should not be sitting there trying to make y'all happy, because at the end of the day, y'all can't make yourselves happy. So why are we killing ourselves, having y'all babies, getting work done to our bodies, especially if we end up having children and any complications having to happen to our bodies? Since I talked about the woman who body looked better after she had a child, I'm going to also talk about um the young lady, I forgot her name, but I think it's DC Young Fly's baby mother. I don't remember her name. And since I'm on my phone right now, I'm not even able to go on my phone and find her name. So I apologize for not remembering her name. But DC Young Fly's baby mother unfortunately passed from having body surgery done. And basically what they said, they call it a body mommy makeover. And basically that's where a lot of women, once they have children or once they have a child, if their body doesn't look good, where they had like crazy stretch marks, maybe loose skin, whatever the situation may be, whereas their body is not as having those children, the woman decides that she wants to get work done to tighten up or, freshen up or just improve her weight, her body, how she looks. And unfortunately, she lost that battle and she never came out of the surgery, breathing. And it's very sad because I feel like, look at both of those different instances. You have one woman that apparently wasn't as confident as she could be about her body because she wanted to change it by going under the knife where she knew she could have possible negative results that could have taken her life. And then you have another woman, Kiki, who only had one child so far, and instead of her body blowing up to the point where she feel like it didn't look good, her body blew up to the point where she feel like, and everybody else does too, it looks good and it looks beautiful. And she's got people trying to come at her, even though Kiki is not going to care about that because she's had people trying to come at her plenty of times before. But she's got people trying to come at her because of how she's dressing and how she is showing off her assets. But it's like, okay, she's grown. She has a beautiful body. She has a right to be confident in that. The woman that wasn't confident has passed on now. And not only can she not even be confident now, but she also can't even raise her children anymore. So I guess I said all that to say this. Can we be kinder, men? Can y'all be kinder to us women? Because I'm pretty sure that part of the major reason why so many women that have confidence issues in their body and in their how they are is because no matter what we do as women, excuse me, too many times we are ridiculed and put down for no reason when we should be able to be confident within ourselves. Because if we're not confident, we can end up dead. We can end up really, literally dead trying to gain confidence back and trying to get ourselves to the point where we feel that confidence again. But then when you feel that confidence and then people want to put you down anyway, it's crazy to me, yo. It's ridiculously crazy to me because it's like y'all never happy. Y'all men are never happy. And some women too. Y'all never happy. And the fact of the matter is, I genuinely believe y'all ain't never gonna be happy because the simple fact of the matter is like the happiest people are people who know how to make themselves happy. Those are the happiest people in the world. And I feel like, genuinely speaking, I feel like that's why it's not that many happy people in the world. Because there's not that many people in the world that actually knows how to make themselves happy. Too many people literally go outside of themselves trying to find happiness in a boyfriend, in a girlfriend, in a new home, in a shopping spree, in a new job. Like, it's a bunch of outside entities that they pursue to gain that happiness. And usually those are the most pathetic, sad, mean, nastiest people. But believe it or not, if you really pay attention, the nicest, most sweetest, kindest, most loving energy to be around is people that know how to make themselves happy. People who actually can be alone or be with somebody else. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Now, genuinely speaking, we are all social beings. So we're supposed to be around other people. We're supposed to be entertained by other entities, other human beings. So I'm not saying if you've, in some sense or in some way, been, disassociated or separated from people for a long time, and you feel the urge and or the need to have a boyfriend or have a girlfriend or make some new friends or something like that, there's nothing wrong with that. Because you're a social being. So you are supposed to, feel like, okay, now it's time for me to be social. Now it's time for me to be a socialite. Now it's time for me to talk to other people. Now it's time for me to get to know other people. That's okay. But it's also okay to have that balance. Whereas not only can you definitely be around other people, be sociable, realize to yourself that it's time for you to be around other people, but it's also that perfect balance to finally get to the mode where you're like, okay, I don't need to be around nobody. I don't want to be around anybody. I want to be alone. I want to be by myself. I want to be to myself. I want to take care of myself. I want to get myself an emotion that I need to be in. And in order for me to get in that mode, I have to separate myself. I have to be alone for a while. I have to work on me by myself for me. It's a balance. And you know what, guys? I'm going to basically finish this video out on this. Something that I recognized recently. I told my boyfriend this and I also told my best friend this. I recognize that a lot of times when you're dating, you out here, you're dating, and or being in friendships with different people, different signs. I recognize that a lot of times, pay attention to the people who you're in relationships with and their signs, and or friendships with and their signs, and all of that, because I'm not as much into it as I really would like to be because I don't understand it all the way. But I have come to understand over the years dating that whoever I'm in a relationship with, whether they are completely in that sign and truly give off that sign's attributes or not, I have come to recognize that the sign of the person that I'm dating a lot of times has a lot to do with how I end up after I end up breaking up with that person. What I mean by that, or even while I'm still in a relationship with that person, what I mean by that is all of my exes that I've ever been in relationships with, even friends that I've had, whether they were a healthy version of, let's say, a Cancer, or whether they were a not so healthy version, I learned something from them through the sign that they are, whether it was toxic or whether it wasn't. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. And to give y'all as best of an example as possible, right now, my boyfriend that I am with, he is a Libra. And if you know anything about signs, you know that Libra is best known for their balance and their abilities to be balanced or gain balance or maintain balance. So before I had dated my boyfriend that I'm with now, I had never been with a Libra before. I've dated many different signs, but not Libra. So he would be my first Libra that I ever dated or definitely been in a serious relationship with. So it did kind of like catch me off guard, but I have recognized from being with him, being a Libra, that in a lot of areas I am recognizing either one, where I am very balanced within myself and in my life, or two, where I'm not very balanced within myself and in my life, or three, I also have learned where he is very balanced or imbalanced. And that's just an example for me to like get y'all to understand where I have come to understand that, you got to pay attention to your relationships and the signs of people that you're in relationships with, because a lot of times they may be teaching you something that kind of catacorners their sign. And if you don't peep it, then you might not catch it and you might have to have that experience again. But if you do peep it, you can learn a lot. Like, you can really catch on to a lot of stuff if you recognize, like, oh, okay, I'm with a Libra, whether he's balanced or imbalanced, because sometimes just like me. Sometimes with me being a Cancer, sometimes my emotion, I'm emotional. Sometimes my emotions might be balanced, then they might be on the money like crazy. But then sometimes my emotions might be a little bit off, a little bit more difficult to read or understand even by me. So with me understanding like just those few different details about just my sign and my boyfriend's sign that I'm with now, it really gets me to understand like, oh, it's very important to really pay attention to the signs and synchronicities of the zodiac when it comes to relationships that you're in and friendships that you maintain or even have had in the past, because you may need to learn something from that and really connect what you're learning to the signs so you can get better understanding, because I have recognized that that has been what has happened with me. I, Especially in this relationship that I'm in now, like I have come to really recognize like, oh wow, even when my boyfriend's not balanced, it's very easy for me to peep it. It's like, especially when I'm paying attention. If I'm not paying attention, it may be harder. But when I'm paying attention, which most of the time I am, it's very easy for me to peep certain things about either him or myself that's either perfectly in balance and like that's great, or total opposite, not balanced, totally off, need a lot of work. So, sorry y'all, I'm getting tired again. It's like almost 5 o'clock in the morning, so it's understandable why I'm yawning. But I guess to bring all of this together, I just really wanted to express how, considering Kiki as well as DC Young Fly's baby mother, we need to be nicer to each other when it comes to body image. And we need to respect and appreciate when women and or men have confidence in themselves, because it's hard to get, and it's definitely hard to maintain and keep when you're in a world full of people that's never going to be happy no matter what. And that's how this world is. This world is going to have a problem with you whether you do what you want to do or whether you don't. So I've come to recognize and understand the older that I get, just do what the heck you want. Because doing what other people tell you to do and then it not working out for you, it's going to make you mad that you didn't just do what you wanted to do in the first place. So just do what you want and be with people who support you doing what you want. If a person don't want to support you doing what you want and living your life to the fullest on your own, then that person don't need to be in your life. I'm gonna just give it to you straight and tell you like that. Sorry, not sorry. I gotta be honest with you. You know, I call y'all my truth tribe for a reason. Speaking of truth tribe, if you have just come to this channel, you've never seen me before, and this is your first time seeing me, I'm pretty daggone sure that if you watch this far, you are ready to subscribe. So just go ahead, press that subscribe button. What you waiting for? Go ahead, press it, press it, press it, press it. Okay. Now, you're finally a part of the Truth Tribe. So welcome. And if you are already a part of the Truth Tribe, thank you. Thank you so very much for being a part of the great troopers that I have that support me and that show me love. I really appreciate y'all. But the reason why I call y'all my Truth Tribe is because if you vibe with me, then you vibing with the truth, because you vibing with Ruth. And my name is the root word for truth, which means I can't stand for nothing else but the truth. I ain't got no choice. So, stay encouraged, y'all. Understand and recognize that men, it's okay for your woman to be confident in her body. And if she can tastefully show off, let her live. Let her be confident in her beautiful body that she was able to keep together and maintain, sir. You do not understand how hard it is, okay? To keep yourself together and stay looking good, okay? It's too hard for y'all to keep giving us a hard time when we're confident, okay? And it's too many women that's not confident and that's losing their lives because of lack of confidence. So allow us to be confident. Allow us to bask in the energy of confidence and happiness, no matter what it's from, no matter what our shape or size. Support our confidence, because that's what we need. If you can't support our confidence, leave us alone, because we don't need to be with you, and you don't need to be with us. If you really love us, leave us alone if you can't support our confidence. Whether we fat and confident in that, or whether we thin and got a certain kind of physique, doesn't matter. Support our confidence, because if you don't support our confidence, you can end up in a situation, sadly, like DC, where he had to bury his baby's mother. I feel so bad for him because they got 3 kids together. But the sad part about it is that's what ends up happening when you beat a woman's confidence down so bad, or she beats her own confidence down. But I genuinely know, as a female and as a woman, women don't beat their own confidence down. It's other men and women that do it to them. And then they start self-sabotaging after they start to believe stuff that they've been told. Stop beating people down. Stop trying to make people less confident. If that person is confident, support that confidence. Because that person can really be saving their own life by being confident. And you could be saving their life as well by supporting that confidence, instead of sitting there being selfish and being mean and being nasty towards that person because they're confident. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Get it together and recognize confidence is a good thing. Stop with the jealousy, men. It's not good for you to be jealous of your woman. It's not good for you to look at your woman and, instead of being admirable of how confident she is and how beautiful she is, being mad and angry or upset because she is confident. That's crazy. Stop it. Stop judging her because her booty's out, or because she likes to have her cleavage out and show off her sexiness. Stop it. Just like you from time to time like the flex and like the show that you still got it, so does she. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. It's called confidence. That's what you're supposed to have. Alright, y'all. Make sure y'all stay confident. Y'all stay beautiful. Y'all stay taking very good care of yourselves. Love yourself, love each other, and respect each other. And make sure you help your mate and your friends be more confident. Don't try to take their confidence away, because you want them to live, don't you? You want them to be healthy, don't you? You want them to be strong in their mind and their hearts, don't you? Support their confidence. Love their confidence. Appreciate that. And know that they're better alive than dead because they didn't have enough confidence in themselves. And because you kept telling them that they didn't have nothing to be confident about. Let's stop doing that to each other. It's hurtful, it's mean, it's disrespectful, and it shows just how jealous you are. And it shows just how immature you are too. That you can't be mature enough to be with an attractive person who's confident in themselves, and you support their confidence and make them even more confident. Because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what mates and friends are for. They're supposed to make you more confident, not take your confidence away.